It was a day of spectacle, power plays, and jaw-dropping surprises. From unexpected guests to moments that sent the internet into a frenzy, this was no ordinary inauguration. And just wait until you see who stole the spotlight with a shocking transformation, and the bold move that left Hillary Clinton visibly stunned. Here's everything you missed from this unforgettable inauguration day. Trust me, it's a must-see. Trump's triumphant return, January 20th, 2025, a date that will be etched in history books. Donald Trump has officially reclaimed the title of President of the United States, making him the first leader since Grover Cleveland to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. But this wasn't just another inauguration. It was a spectacle of power, prestige, and moments so shocking they had the internet in a chokehold. Washington, District of Columbia pulsed with energy as throngs of Trump loyalists, political elites, and high-profile figures gathered at the Capitol. While the world's eyes were glued to the West Front, the guest list alone was enough to spark waves of speculation. Former Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton were in attendance, their expressions a mix of stoicism and silent contemplation, each man carrying the weight of his own legacy. But it wasn't just politicians commanding attention. The tech moguls, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Tim Cook, occupied prime front-row seats, a subtle but unmistakable reminder of their grip on America's digital empire. Their presence wasn't just symbolic, it was a quiet assertion of their undeniable influence on the nation's future. And then there was Trump. Dressed in a sharp black coat and his signature red tie, he radiated confidence as he took the oath, his voice firm, his presence commanding. Beside him, Melania Trump, ever the picture of poise, stunned in a custom powder blue ensemble. But in the midst of the grandeur, the internet found its golden moment. Trump, in a rare display of public affection, turned to Melania for a congratulatory kiss, only to fumble at the last second. The clip spread like wildfire, and within minutes, meme culture did what it does best. This inauguration was anything but ordinary, and the day was just getting started. Beyond politics, a day of power and shock. This inauguration wasn't just about decorum and designer fashion, it was a masterclass in unpredictability. From the very start, an air of suspense loomed over the event, hinting that this wouldn't be your typical presidential ceremony. In his inaugural address, Trump wasted no time in making waves. Between the expected pledges of national strength, he dropped cryptic hints about future global realignments, teasing an ambitious vision that left political analysts scrambling for interpretations. Was he signaling a new era of American dominance? A rebranding of world alliances? No one knew for sure, but one thing was certain. This was just a preview of the bombshells to come. The crowd, a blend of political powerhouses and cultural icons, buzzed with speculation. Reality TV mogul and longtime Trump ally Kim Kardashian made an unexpected appearance, instantly igniting rumors about her own political aspirations. Could the woman who once broke the internet now be eyeing the White House? Meanwhile, Trump's inner circle stood in full force. Ivanka, Don Jr., and Tiffany flanked their father, but all eyes soon shifted to Barron Trump. Tall, poised, and exuding a newfound presence, his appearance alone would become a headline in itself. But this wasn't just the ceremonial passing of power. It was a carefully curated spectacle of influence, ambition, and strategy. As the final notes of the national anthem rang out, it became clear. This was more than a transition. It was the prologue to a presidency that promised bold moves, dramatic turns, and moments that would shake history. For all its political gravity, some of the day's most unforgettable moments had nothing to do with policy or speeches. It was the unexpected, the unscripted, and the downright bizarre that captivated millions worldwide. From endearing slip-ups to spur-of-the-moment improvisations, these moments injected a dose of raw humanity into the grandeur of the occasion. But if you thought the guest list and bold declarations were the most shocking parts of the day, think again. What happened next? Let's just say, history had never seen an inauguration quite like this. Melania's unexpected viral moment. Melania Trump made an unforgettable entrance, turning heads the moment she stepped into the spotlight. Dressed in a custom-designed powder blue ensemble with a perfectly matching pillbox hat, she radiated classic elegance, a look reminiscent of Jackie Kennedy, but with her signature modern sophistication. Every detail was immaculate, every step poised. But then came the moment no one saw coming. As the newly sworn-in president turned to give her a congratulatory kiss, the timing faltered just slightly, resulting in an awkward half-embrace, half-miscalculated gesture that left both momentarily confused. The crowd let out a collective chuckle, but the internet? It went into overdrive. Within hours, the scene had been immortalized into an avalanche of memes, each funnier than the last. While the moment was lighthearted, it served as a rare glimpse of spontaneity in a meticulously choreographed event. Even the most polished figures aren't immune to a human blunder, and sometimes it's those unscripted seconds that end up stealing the show. Elon's awkward moment and a musical mishap. One of the day's most unexpected viral moments belonged to none other than Elon Musk. As cameras swept over the VIP section, Musk appeared stoic and unreadable, his usual composed self. But then, during a ceremonial salute, sharp-eyed viewers noticed him raise his hand in a way that instantly ignited controversy. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Some accused him of an inappropriate gesture, while others insisted it was nothing more than an awkward reflex. The debate raged across social media until Musk himself stepped in to clear the air. With his signature dry humor, he tweeted, "Lesson learned, stick to waving normally." Crisis averted, sort of. But Musk wasn't the only one caught in an unexpected moment. The event's musical performances also delivered their share of surprises. Country star Carrie Underwood and legend Billy Ray Cyrus took the stage to deliver patriotic classics. But midway through her performance, disaster struck. Carrie's microphone cut out completely. Rather than letting the glitch ruin the moment, she pivoted like a pro, launching into an a cappella rendition of God Bless America. The audience didn't miss a beat, joining in for an impromptu sing-along that turned a technical failure into a powerful display of unity. The spontaneous moment earned a standing ovation, proving once again that live performances can be just as unpredictable as politics. Tesla's dazzling sky show. Not all surprises of the day were accidental. During a brief intermission between speeches, the crowd was treated to an unexpected spectacle, an orchestrated drone light show above the National Mall. Organized by Tesla as a personal contribution from Elon Musk, the synchronized drones formed breathtaking images of the American flag, eagles in flight, and symbols of American ingenuity. The high-tech display blended patriotism with cutting-edge innovation, leaving spectators in awe. In a day packed with political declarations and historic moments, it was these unscripted, unexpected events that stole the show. And if this was just the beginning, the next 4 years were bound to be just as unpredictable. If you enjoyed this video, drop a 1 in the comments, and if not, let me know with a 0. I appreciate your feedback. Heartwarming and unexpected moments. Beyond the grand speeches and political power plays, it was the smaller, unplanned moments that truly captured the heart of the day. Kim Kardashian, a longtime Trump family ally, quickly became a social media sensation, not for her presence, but for her adorably animated explanations of the event to her daughter, Northwest. Cameras caught her breaking down the proceedings in the most expressive way, making the formal occasion feel surprisingly relatable. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. proving that even the most high-profile figures are just parents at the end of the day. Children, in general, played an unexpected but touching role in the ceremony. Scattered throughout the crowd, young attendees waved flags, sang along to the national anthem, and even engaged in impromptu chats with reporters. Their wide-eyed wonder cut through the intensity of the moment, serving as a reminder that this wasn't just about power, it was about shaping the future for the next generation. A presidential parade with a furry twist, and then there were the animals. The inaugural parade had all the usual fanfare, marching bands, elaborate floats, military processions, but one surprise addition stole the show: therapy dogs. Sections of the parade route featured these lovable companions walking alongside their handlers, offering an unexpected but welcome moment of warmth. Designed to bring comfort and engagement to the massive crowd, the dogs quickly became crowd favorites, drawing smiles and belly rubs from attendees who needed a break from the weight of history. Barron's stunning transformation. As the 2025 inauguration unfolded, all eyes were expected to be on Donald Trump reclaiming the presidency. But in a twist no one saw coming, it was Barron Trump who ended up stealing the spotlight. At 18 years old, Barron had largely remained out of the public eye in recent years, remembered by many as the quiet, reserved teenager who shied away from the cameras during his father's first term. But his entrance at this event shattered that image entirely. Standing an astonishing 6 feet 9 inches, he towered over everyone, including his 6 feet 3 inch father, creating a striking visual that instantly went viral. Gone was the unassuming boy America once knew. In his place stood a poised and confident young man, impeccably dressed in a sharp black suit and crisp white shirt, mirroring the signature Trump aesthetic. His resemblance to his father was uncanny, not just in looks but in presence. His posture exuded quiet authority. His demeanor carried the same self-assured air that has long defined the Trump name. Social media erupted with reactions to his transformation, with some drawing comparisons to his father's early years and others speculating about his future role in the Trump legacy. Was this his subtle entry into the political or business world? Or was this simply an 18-year-old making his debut on one of the world's biggest stages? Barron Trump, like father, like son? It wasn't just Barron Trump's towering height that had people talking, it was his presence. The moment he stepped into the public eye at the 2025 inauguration, social media went into overdrive. Twitter exploded with hashtags like Barron Trump and like father, like son, while TikTok was flooded with reaction videos dissecting his transformation. One viral clip even placed side-by-side footage of Donald Trump's signature mannerisms next to Barron's composed, steady posture at the ceremony. The resemblance was eerie, as if a younger Donald had just stepped onto the stage. "He's growing into the role," one commentator quipped. Another boldly declared, "Barron Trump just gave off serious future president vibes. Mark my words." The fascination wasn't surprising. America has long been captivated by the children of political dynasties. Much like John F. Kennedy Jr. before him, Barron suddenly found himself more than just the son of a president. He had become a figure of national intrigue in his own right. The mystery of Barron. But while the internet speculated about a future in politics, those who know Barron described him differently. Unlike his extroverted father, he has often been characterized as private, academic, and introspective. Yet, for those watching closely, subtle moments at the inauguration hinted at a more nuanced personality. During a brief exchange with an audience member, Barron smiled warmly and shook hands, a gesture that softened his otherwise reserved demeanor. It was a fleeting moment, but one that suggested a blend of quiet confidence and approachability. Of course, anything involving the Trump family is bound to be polarizing. While many praised Barron's transformation, critics were quick to push back. Some argued that media coverage was focusing too much on his appearance rather than the political weight of the day. Are we really talking about a teenager's height while ignoring policy implications? One op-ed questioned. But no matter the perspective, one thing was clear. Barron Trump's reemergence was more than just a passing headline. It marked a turning point, a shift in public perception. And for those paying attention, it was a moment that hinted at something much bigger. Barron steps into the spotlight. Currently a student at New York University, Barron Trump has largely stayed out of the public eye since leaving the White House in 2021. Known for his academic excellence and love of sports, particularly basketball, his towering height suddenly made more sense. A former high school teammate once described him as dedicated and humble. Someone you'd never guess came from such a high-profile family. But on Inauguration Day, the quiet young man who had spent years avoiding the spotlight found himself at the center of it. For many of Donald Trump's supporters, Barron's presence was more than just a family obligation. It was a moment of nostalgia. Those who had watched him grow up during his father's first term couldn't help but see him as a symbol of continuity, a bridge between Trump's past presidency and the new era he was ushering in. But what truly captivated people wasn't just Barron's towering stature or polished demeanor. It was the symbolism of him standing beside his father. A silent statement, loud impact. As Donald Trump took center stage, basking in the energy of the crowd, Barron stood to his right, silent, composed, but undeniably present. It was a stark contrast to the boy who was once shielded from the public eye. This time, he wasn't being protected from scrutiny. He was stepping into a role where his every move would now be analyzed. The image of father and son side by side spoke volumes without a single word. While Inauguration Day 2025 was, at its core, about Donald Trump reclaiming the presidency, it became just as much about Barron Trump's debut as an adult. In a single day, he went from being a background figure to a young man embodying both the physical stature and quiet charisma of his father. And as history has shown, the children of political dynasties rarely remain in the shadows for long. Hillary's viral reaction. When history is being made, reactions matter, and no reaction was more talked about on Inauguration Day than Hillary Clinton's. As Donald Trump took the oath of office for his historic return to the presidency, all eyes were on him. But amidst the grandeur and ceremonial formalities, it was a single, bold proclamation during his inaugural speech that left everyone stunned, and most people missed it in real time. Midway through his address, Trump did what he does best, dropped a bombshell. With his voice rising in signature bravado, he declared, "It's time for America to own its greatness. And starting today, we will no longer refer to the body of water off our southern coast as the Gulf of Mexico. From this day forward, it shall be known as the Gulf of America, a symbol of the strength, unity, and dominance of our great nation." For a brief second, the crowd hesitated, then came the applause. His supporters erupted in cheers, waving their flags and chanting in approval. But among the sea of reactions, there was one expression that stood out above all: Hillary Clinton's. Seated a few rows behind Trump, Hillary Clinton had maintained a carefully composed demeanor throughout most of the ceremony. She clapped politely when necessary, exchanged the occasional glance with Bill Clinton, and mostly kept her expressions neutral. But when Trump announced his plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico, her reaction was impossible to miss. It started with a slight twitch of the eyebrows, followed by a small but unmistakable smile, a mix of disbelief, amusement, and sheer "you have got to be kidding me" energy. As the crowd around her erupted in cheers, she leaned over to Bill Clinton and whispered something. Whatever it was, it immediately made the former president chuckle. The cameras caught the moment instantly, and within minutes, Hillary's reaction was everywhere. The internet wasted no time turning Hillary's unfiltered moment into a viral sensation. Twitter exploded with memes, GIFs, and captions like Hillary Clinton trying not to burst out laughing on live TV. That moment when you realize you've seen everything. Bill's smirk says it all. Some supporters of Trump celebrated the rebranding move, hailing it as a patriotic assertion of American strength. Others, however, saw it as one of the most audacious and unnecessary announcements ever made at an inauguration. Meanwhile, Hillary's smirk became a microcosm of the political divide, half the country cheering, the other half shaking their heads. While Trump's speech had plenty of headline-worthy moments, it was Hillary's reaction that stole the show. It was raw, unscripted, and packed with the kind of energy that fuels political debates for weeks. Whether you saw it as a moment of quiet defiance or just pure disbelief, one thing was certain. History had been made, and Hillary Clinton's face said it all. Hillary's unfiltered moment. Donald Trump's bombshell announcement to rename the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America was met with roaring applause from his supporters, but not everyone was on board. For many, including Hillary Clinton, the move was another over-the-top display of Trump's signature bravado. The announcement immediately sparked debate, drawing reactions from legal scholars, historians, and international leaders. Could a U.S. president actually rename a major body of water? Experts were skeptical. International treaties, geographical conventions, and centuries of historical precedent tied the Gulf's name to the region, making such a change far more complicated than an executive order. But as one commentator put it, if anyone's willing to test the limits of naming conventions, it's Donald Trump. For his supporters, the rebranding effort struck a patriotic chord. Yet, the policy debate was quickly overshadowed by Hillary's reaction, which became the moment that social media couldn't stop talking about. Twitter erupted with theories about what she might have whispered to Bill Clinton, while viral memes dissected her every smirk and eyebrow raise. Meanwhile, the international response was swift. The Mexican president issued a carefully worded statement, emphasizing the Gulf's cultural and historical significance, while expressing hope that diplomatic ties wouldn't be strained. Behind closed doors, however, tensions reportedly simmered. Other world leaders chimed in, some with genuine concern, others with dry humor. A Canadian commentator joked, "If Trump's renaming the Gulf, maybe we can finally rename Niagara Falls to something less loud." The French foreign minister quipped, "If the Americans are renaming the Gulf, perhaps the Eiffel Tower will soon be the Freedom Tower of France." As the debate raged on, Hillary Clinton once again found herself in the spotlight. Admirers praised her ability to stay composed, while critics speculated about her unfiltered reaction. But as history looks back on this day, it might not be Trump's grand declaration that lingers in the public consciousness. It may be the raised eyebrow, the smirk, and the whispered words that captured a nation's attention. We truly appreciate you for sticking around and watching our video. Leave a 2 in the comments to let me know you are still here with us. Trump's citizenship controversy. Donald Trump's presidency has always been defined by bold and often polarizing decisions. But his latest executive order, revoking birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants, has ignited a legal and political firestorm like never before. The order, signed just days after his inauguration, seeks to eliminate automatic U.S. citizenship for babies born on American soil to parents without legal status. Trump framed the move as a necessary step to curb illegal immigration, arguing that the current system encourages birth tourism and places undue strain on American taxpayers. "We will no longer reward those who break our laws with the greatest privilege of all, American citizenship," he declared in a fiery speech at the White House. The reaction was swift. Within hours, over 20 states and multiple civil rights organizations announced lawsuits challenging the order's legality. Constitutional scholars pointed directly to the 14th Amendment, which guarantees that all persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens. Critics argued that no executive order could override a constitutional provision without a formal amendment, something that would require congressional approval and a far more complex legal process. Prominent legal figures, including former Supreme Court justices and constitutional law professors, labeled Trump's move a blatant overreach of presidential power. This is not just an executive order, it's a constitutional crisis waiting to happen, one legal expert stated. Even some Republicans distanced themselves from the decision, fearing it would spark massive legal battles and alienate key voting blocs ahead of future elections. Public reaction and social unrest. The policy immediately became a flashpoint in the immigration debate, dividing the nation along political and ideological lines. Trump supporters hailed the move as a long overdue correction to an outdated law, arguing that automatic citizenship should be reserved for those who enter the country legally. Meanwhile, activists, immigration groups, and progressive leaders staged nationwide protests, calling the decision cruel, unconstitutional, and un-American. Social media exploded with personal stories from dreamers, military families, and immigrants who worried about their children's futures. Hashtags like citizenship rights and 14th Amendment trended on Twitter, while prominent figures, including Hollywood celebrities and business leaders, publicly condemned the order. International implications and fallout. Beyond U.S. borders, global leaders reacted with shock and concern. The United Nations Human Rights Office issued a statement expressing deep alarm at the policy, warning that it could set a dangerous precedent for other nations with birthright citizenship. Mexico, Canada, and several European countries strongly criticized the move, with some calling it a direct attack on human rights. Meanwhile, some conservative-led governments expressed interest in following suit, signaling that Trump's immigration policies could influence similar actions abroad. Political analysts noted that if Trump succeeds in pushing this policy forward, it could reshape America's identity and immigration laws for generations to come. What happens next? With lawsuits piling up and federal courts set to review the constitutionality of Trump's order, the battle over birthright citizenship is far from over. Legal experts predict that the case could reach the Supreme Court, where the conservative majority bench may ultimately determine whether Trump's boldest immigration move yet will stand or fall. For now, millions of families remain in limbo, watching as yet another Trump-era controversy unfolds, one that could redefine the very fabric of American identity. A presidency like no other. The 2025 inauguration was more than a political ceremony. It was a spectacle of power, drama, and unexpected twists that left the world buzzing. From Trump's grand return to the White House to Barron Trump's shocking transformation, the event was filled with moments that defined not only the day, but the tone of the next 4 years. Trump's boldest declaration yet, the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, sparked international debate, while Hillary Clinton's viral reaction became an instant social media sensation. Meanwhile, Elon Musk's awkward salute, Carrie Underwood's impromptu sing-along, and a Tesla-sponsored drone show turned an already historic event into something truly unforgettable. But beyond the theatrics and viral moments, Trump's controversial policies have already begun to reshape the nation. His executive order targeting birthright citizenship has ignited a legal battle that could redefine the very meaning of American identity. With lawsuits mounting and international criticism growing, the road ahead promises to be just as turbulent as the event that kicked it all off. So, did you catch these subtle moments? Or did they slip past you? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more.